So in the previous video, we've been exploring the MIDI instruments and ways to edit and manipulate the MIDI. Now let's move over to the mix view. So you can get to the mix view by clicking the mix button here or the tab key, and that switches over to the mix view. But you might say that this is the clip launcher view, and that is correct. So the clip launcher view and the mixer view are housed within this view, but you can choose what you want to see, especially if you get more into the side of mixing and you don't really need this clip launcher. What you can do is you can hide that. And then if you click on here, you've got these really nice big mixing meters that you can use to analyze the levels of each of your tracks. So you've got 0 dB level up here, and you can see the levels of each track. And as you can see, nothing is clipping or going into the red, which is a good sign. But you obviously want to level out the levels of each of these tracks so you get a nice mix. So on each track, you got a volume fader. You can change the level. You can solo it. So I hear that's that drum loop track. I can pan it to the left, pan it to the right. I can even mute it. Or bring it back in. And then down over here, I'm obviously seeing the device panel. So I can click that to make this view even bigger. So I've got these insanely huge meters. Now, I really don't need that. I like seeing my device panel. So if I click between each track, I can see what is on each track and then also use this mix area. Now, there's some other things that you need to know about when you get into using the mixing environment. And that is also as well to view your inserts. So here are the inserts that I've added. Basically, this is the devices on your chain. So for example, this has a sampler and then into the chorus. So you're going to be seeing the instruments and the devices. Then over here, you can see the sends. For example, if you want to set up and send a portion of this track to the reverb, you can do that this way, but I will show you that in a later video. This is your input and outputs. You can choose to minimize it or show it, but it's quite nice, specifically if you're going to be recording to some tracks. Maybe you do want to see the clip launcher and you want to record to a clip, then it's nice to know what your inputs are going to be. For example, maybe recording onto an audio track like this. I'm going to record armors, and then I want to set what my input is. And with the send effects, I can choose to view my send effects over here. So this minimizes them and expands to show them again. So if I'm pushing to, for example, a reverb, I'll see my reverb effect here, just so if you want to jump in and edit some of the parameters. And then obviously all the way on the right here is your master output. So the way of the routing of the tracks is, so you're going to have your tracks, they're going to go to an output or either to a bus. And then from those buses or tracks, they're going to be routed to the master output where you can add some mastering processing. You can see your overall balance of your level of your track over here. And when you export out your track, it's going to be an export out of the master. So that's a very quick overview of the mixer view. Now let's jump in and see what more we can do with the mixer.